Welcome to a wonderful day with Cletus Ray. That's not the title of the podcast. It's Cletus Ray's Roadside Service. But that was pretty good. I didn't even practice that at all. That just straight spitting is what the people say sometimes when you say something cool. I'm just straight spitting. Anyways, today is Tuesday. I think today is actually going to be a decent day. Yesterday was also a decent day, but let me just get right into yesterday. So yesterday I record the podcast and we drive up and we get there. We sat for 2.5 hours doing nothing because the people that said be here at 10:30, we'll have everything ready, lied. They just straight up lied. That's okay. Hey, I don't mind sitting around a little bit. But then whenever they said, okay, you guys can start, I was confused because they only had 18 engines set there on the rail for us. I was like, where's the other ones? They're like, oh, we just want you guys to do these ones first. I'm like, what the fuck is this? All right, well, good thing we're having a half day today because I mean, we're not going to get all 18 done, but we're going to get some of them done. And then I don't know, man. It was just okay, but I guess there was a couple in that row that they were trying to sell, and they did sell them, and they wanted us to get those ones drained out first so they could sell the train and I don't know, start making money on them or whatever. So I said, all right, cool. So we sucked a couple of them down. I only got 3 done, and the other guy got 2.5 done. So we didn't do a whole lot yesterday, but we had storms coming in. At least that's what it kind of kept looking like. It was like Topeka rain, 100% chance, severe thunderstorms coming in through the area with high winds. And then right when it got, I don't know if it right when it got to us or whatever the fuck happened, but it split and it went right around where we were. Like it was completely dry and it was just a little humid and hot, but it was completely dry. This coffee is spilling everywhere. If I want my whole coffee, I got to drink a little bit of it right now. It's just bouncing around in here. Um. So, anyways, even with the rain splitting and everything, I was like, hey, man, the more we do today, we're just gonna have even a shorter day tomorrow. He's like, yeah. I was like, so let's just fucking call it quits early today because there's a threat that a storm could develop right on top of us. Because I mean, I'm saying the storm, the bad part of the storm went right around us. It was completely cloud covered the whole time. So like, I don't know what the factors are, but you got storm over here, storm over here. It could be a storm, develop right in the middle, and then we're in the middle of a 2-hour process, and we can't just pick up. So I was like, let's get the fuck out of here. So we did. We got the hell out of there. And we drove home. Everything was going fine. There was a couple of crashes on the highway, and I'm guessing it's due to the storm or something, or maybe just wet roads and we haven't. I don't know. We've had rain lately, so I don't understand what's going on. Well, maybe. I guess we hadn't really had too much rain lately. Yeah, everybody's car leaks oil out here, and so whenever it rains, it just creates an oil slick out on the road. And it gets real bad. Anyways, uh, it rained everywhere else except for where we were. And I thought we were even going to drive into the storm. We drove right underneath the storm. And so we stayed completely dry the whole way. And then we get to the shop. And the intersection before we get to the shop, the 2 intersections before we get to our shop, are completely flooded. There is a like a 2010 convertible Camaro, and all you can see is the roof of it. The only reason I knew it was a Camaro is because I know what cars are, and I saw the water kind of splash around, and you could see but the whole car was underneath the water. Just the roof wasn't, but I mean, how much does the roof really matter anyways, right? Fuck. Like, the whole fucking thing was underneath the water. Um, and then there was a bunch of other little SUVs and stuff that were stuck in there too, and there was people just sitting in their car, and it's like, what are you guys doing? There was like 5 of them that drove into the water, their car died, and they all tried to restart their car. Now I saw that, and I saw a path that I could go around everybody, and I'm in a big semi, and I was like, I know, like, the deepest part of that whole that stuff was where the Camaro was, and I could see the roof of it, so I'm like, it's gonna be fine, I can make it through. And so I start creeping through the floodwaters, and it's only this intersection. It's like, there's 4 roads. Nobody's drowning out here, okay? It's just a flooded intersection. It happens all the time. But as I start creeping through, because I don't want to create a wake and flood these people's cars even more or whatever. I don't know. I just, I don't want to splash them. These people are already in a really bad situation because they're fucking, probably their car, the one car or whatever they have, is fucking ruined now. So they're pissed. And they don't need a semi just barreling through like a fucking cruise ship and just flooding them. So I take it nice and fucking slow. I am creating a wake, but there's no getting around that. But I'm creeping at like an idle. And I get through. And it's not that I was worried about my truck, because my air cooler, or my air box is way up high on a semi truck. So I have nothing to really worry about for a while. Like, it's got to come up over the top of my hood before it's going to be a real problem. My feet are going to be wet before it's a problem, and my feet are 5 feet off the ground right now. So it's got to be a pretty deep little puddle, and this was not that deep. I mean, it was deep. I'm pretty sure my fuel tank was pretty much underwater, but I don't know. Everything was fine. I creep on through. I look in my rearview mirror, and I see the other semi driver coming through. He creeps on through, and then I don't know what he decided to do. He decided to floor it. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I just see the fucking white caps coming off the front of end of the semi. I'm like, God damn it, dude. I crept through. These people were probably like, thank you. Nobody else that has been able to make it through has crept through. I appreciate you not splashing us. And then we got another fucking semi, identical to mine, fucking just barreling through the fucking shit. I'm like, God damn it. And then he wasn't going like super fast, but I was at an idle creep to create no wake. And he was doing 3, maybe 4 miles an hour, which is like a walking pace. Like, I was doing a crawl and he was walking, and I don't know. I guess it's not a big deal, but I was like, yeah, that ain't the first time somebody's gonna come through like that. Anyways, I get through it, and I keep on going down the road, and I'm watching him come through it, and then I see our pickup truck come around the corner, because somehow we beat the pickup truck. And this motherfucker, I thought this guy was smart. I thought I held him in high regard. He's got a diesel pickup truck himself, and he has to work on it all the time. He had a Chevy Cruze. He knows how to work on some things. He still owns a Chevy Cruze. I can't believe he still owns it. But anyways, he's done engine swaps and turbo swaps and all kinds of bullshit on vehicles. So I thought he would be a little smarter about it. This dude went about 25 miles an hour into the flood waters and just created a giant wall of fucking water and made it halfway through and flooded out the pickup truck. And I'm like, and I didn't see him flooded out. I kept looking back there. I was like, I guess he's moving. No, he was not moving. Um, so I just keep on going, but I didn't know that he wasn't moving. And then he calls me. He's like, hey, we only made it halfway. I'm like, oh, fuck. All right. He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, let me get to the shop. I'll grab a chain. I'll grab some waders, and I'll grab another truck because I'm not going to take my semi all the way over there with the trailer on it. That makes no sense. We have other. Well, I took a roll-off truck because it's got a long cable. Not that I was using the cable. I was just chaining to the cable and then hooking it to them. I could have hooked it a lot of other things anyways, but no, that's what I decided to do. And so I get all this shit, and then the other new guy's like, hey, where are you going? What are you doing? I was like, they flooded the fucking pickup out. He's like, where? I was like, they were right behind you. They were right behind you. You don't look in your mirrors at all? He's like, how am I supposed to get home? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Do I look like a fucking captain to you? Do I have a fucking captain's hat on? Do you see a pirate flag flying from my body anywhere? No, I don't know how you get home. You gotta fly, dude. You gotta fucking spread your wings. I just wanna fly. That's a Sugar Ray song. And I think I did a pretty good job there. God damn, how much of this coffee do I gotta drink before it quits spilling out? I wanna save some for the job site. That ain't gonna happen. He's like, do you need help? I was like, no. Nah, man. He's like, are you sure? Because I can help. I'm like, what could you do? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, no. I'm like, no, I've got waders on. I've got the chain, and I've got the truck. There's nobody else I need to do this process. Like, I'm just going to hop out and hook up a chain real quick and then pull them up here. And there's two of them in the truck, so if worst comes to worst, I think between the three of us we can figure it out. I don't really need your help. Okay, how do I get home though? Like, bro, I don't know. Take a different road. Don't drive through the flood. That'd probably be a bad idea. Probably try to not drive through deep water and then follow the GPS after that. I don't know where you live. I don't know, man. Okay, and I see him. So I got the roll off truck and chain and all that shit ready, and I was backing down the road because I didn't want to have to do a U-turn down there. So I just backed all the way down, and I see him, and he comes out. He drives through the other intersection that's not near as flooded as ours, but as this one over here. But he flied right through that, and then he took a one way, the wrong way. I was like, whatever. Hopefully he's all right. I need you to be in tomorrow. And yeah, I got to them. Yeah, it was pretty simple. The only bad thing about it was my waders that I had on. I saw they had a hole, and I taped it up. I was like, it's not gonna hold for a long time, but it'll hold for a little while. Well, I sealed up that hole. There was another hole somewhere on the other leg, and luckily it didn't like flood my foot and all that shit, but it definitely, my leg and my butt were really wet. And so I got to them, and I felt like I was just wearing waders. That's how it feels, I guess. But you feel like you're kind of floating or like walking on the moon or whatever when you're walking through water deep. But I get to them, and he's like, yeah, she died. I'm like, yeah, I see that. You didn't try to start it again, did you? He's like, yeah. I was like, why would you do that? He's like, well, I mean, it just died a little bit. I'm like, no, man. So for people out there that might not know, like him, You don't want to try to if your car dies in floodwaters, leave it alone. It's already died. It choked itself on water. It's not going to fire up again. I promise you it's not going to fire up again. What you have to do is you have to get it drug out of the water, then remove all the spark plugs or injectors, in this case, because it's a diesel, and get all the water out of the cylinders, because that's where the piston is compressing fuel. And whenever you try to refire the engine, it just fills up. That's all it's doing, is sucking in air, which it thinks it's sucking in air. It's actually sucking in water. So you're just pulling water into every cylinder. And, I mean, I guess depending on how long you try to start it. But when all that water gets in there, water will compress, but it will not compress all that much. So instead, what it will do is bend your valves and ruin the engine, potentially. It'll hydrolock the whole damn thing, and then you're fucked. And you're doing way more damage. I mean, if you get water in your engine, you can get it out, and it can be a good running vehicle again. But when you try to fire that motherfucker up, it's not going to work. It's not going to do it. It is not going to compress water and combust. It's not going to do. Water will not combust unless it turns to hydrogen. But there's no way it's turning to hydrogen. Okay? It's not doing that. My wife, probably. Oh, it's just the guy saying he's going to be late. Yeah, so dummy fucking tried to fire it up again. I thought he would have known. I don't know how you don't. I mean, I can understand some people, you know, they don't really understand how engines work and stuff. But this guy should know how an engine works. And if you flood the engine with water, it's flooded with water. You're not going to. I just thought it got the intake a little bit wet and choked it off. No, dude, no. It sucked water in through the intake, and now it's, instead of it sucking in air, it's sucked in water, and it's not good. So I got him towed back to the shop and kind of left him in front of the garage door, and I said, y'all going to need to figure out how to get that in the shop. There's a forklift over there. There's a chain still connected to your truck. Figure it out. And I parked my shit, and I drove home. Drove my pickup truck home. Completely dry. I was completely dry in the morning, completely dry in the afternoon. I was like, I could have rode the bike. I really could have rode the bike. It would have been a good day to ride the bike. I mean, it was cloudy and dark and thundery, but it wasn't like anything crazy. It actually felt kind of nice out. But I drove the pickup truck, and there's another guy at work that he's got an 89 pickup truck, I think, or it's a 94, I don't know, but it's the same interior style as my truck. And I saw he had put a new radio in it, and I was like, dude, you still have the original radio? It's like, yeah. He's like, no, actually, I just threw it away in the trash yesterday. I was like, oh, man. He's like, why? I was like, dude, I've been searching for an original radio for one of these trucks for a while. I mean, I haven't been searching that hard, but if you're just throwing it away, I would have taken it. He's like, yeah, it didn't work all that well, is what he was saying. I think he was saying it just did static, but hey, if it's making noise and it's just maybe he had an antenna problem, I don't know, but I was like, damn, dude, I can't believe it. He's like, yeah, I had the tape deck, the display screen, and the little computer box from underneath. I just left it all connected and threw it away. I was like, God. I was like, brother. It's like, well, it's not trash day yet, so I might be able to still get it. I was like, for real, I would scream like a little girl. and kiss you on the cheek if you would bring me that damn thing. And when I got in my truck yesterday to go home, guess what? It was all sitting right there on my seat. I could not believe it. So I'm really excited. I got the radio. I hope it will work. If it doesn't, hopefully with some of my components and his components, it'll work. I still have the original bezel for the tape deck, so that's pretty cool. So I'll put the tape deck back in there, and I'll get some tapes. I'm like, shit, if it ain't got the radio, maybe it'll at least play tapes. But, yeah, very, very excited about that. And I drove home, and the truck is still fucking up, but I talked to one of the mechanics yesterday morning about it, and he was like, yeah, it sounds like your fuel filter, you're starving for fuel or something. So I'm gonna, and I think I already talked about it, I tried to replace my fuel filter, but I stripped it out. I was using the correct size fucking wrench for a line, I think they're called brake line wrenches or whatever, but they're for fuel line, brake line, whatever. But they're a 6-sided wrench, but one side's cut out, so you can fit the wrench over the line, and you won't strip it out. Well, it stripped the fuck out. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit made out of? Fucking lead? It just fucking molded. It just stripped right out. I was like, God damn it. So I got to take it to the shop, and I got to do some work on that. I got to put in a part of a new fuel line. I need a flare tool, or a flare kit or whatever, so I could put in another little section of line, and then put in my new fuel filter. I'm guessing that could be part of the problem. I was talking about it yesterday, I think, on the podcast. Still been thinking about it. I don't know exactly what the fuck I'm gonna do if that's not the problem. I guess replace I might try to clean the injectors. Take that all apart. Get a throttle body rebuild kit. Replace some gaskets. Maybe it's sucking in air somewhere. I don't know, man. It's just like the truck ran fine, and then I started doing upgrades or maintenance to it, and then now it's running worse than it ever has. I don't know what the hell, but yeah, it feels like it's starving for fuel, and then it starts making a clanking sound, and then it starts cutting out. So I don't know what that is, but I was like, damn, dude. I hope the truck still works good. Hope I didn't ruin it. I don't think I did. I don't think there's a way that the engine is ruined, like it's knocking because of, something wrong internally. I think it might be dieseling or something, or just running on fumes, and then the fumes run out, and then it cuts out, and then it replenishes the fuel, and then it runs okay for a little bit. I don't know. But drove that home, had tacos last night. They were fucking delicious. The diet that I was talking about yesterday, I don't know what that exactly is. I don't think it's going to be the meat diet, because that's maybe at least not not this grocery round, because we just bought a bunch of groceries and shit, and I'm not gonna be the reason we need to go buy another $80 worth of groceries. So I'm gonna just try to eat less for right now, and then maybe I'll get back onto the carnivore thing. Or I've also been thinking about doing a fast. That's going to be really hard to do. Like that's going to take some real mental ability to fast on basically just water and salt. Kevin James, the guy from King of Queens, the TV show, he did a 45-day fast. He's like, yeah, your body just eats itself. You do pretty good. You'll lose some muscle mass, but as long as you're working out and stuff. I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I can do all that, man. I don't know if I'm strong enough to do it. But I've been thinking about doing a fast. At least start with like a 3-day fast, or even a 1 day. I don't want to push too hard immediately, but I would like to do some fasting and just quit putting in so many calories, and hopefully they will start to fall off. And also, there's a lot of other benefits that come with fasting. It kind of resets your body. They put your body into like a survival mode, and you start. I don't know the specifics with it. You can do your own research, but there's one guy at work that's like, you fast for 7 days, it kills all cancer. I'm like, okay, buddy. I don't know about all that. I think it's gonna kill me if I fast for some fucking 7 days. Anyways, and I don't think I have cancer or anything like that. At least I don't think. I've been checked out pretty recently. I think I'm all right. So, but yeah, I did yesterday when I got to the job site. I didn't delete Facebook and I didn't delete YouTube, but I removed them from easy accessibility, in my phone. Because I even still right now, I pull up my phone, I swipe up and I slide to the right, and then I click. I don't click, but where the Facebook button used to be, it's just like natural. And I'm like, this is a problem. This is a real problem, because it happened several times yesterday where I sit down, I'm loading, and I open up my phone and I slide, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm trying to get on Facebook to sit and watch reels, because I know I'm going to scroll down till the reels. I'm going to click on one, and I'm going to just slide through them until I get like 3 in a row that I'm really not into, and then I'm going to exit out, slide down the fucking feed, look at some other shit, and then click on another video because I'm interested in. I'm like, what is this video? I want to see what it is, and I click on it, and then I'm stuck doom scrolling again. It's a bad deal, dude. So I moved them. I put them in a folder up behind a bunch of shit. Not behind shit, but like kind of hidden on my phone a little bit. So now I have to, if I'm going to get on that, I have to deliberately go over to it. And it worked yesterday. I don't think I got on Facebook at all yesterday. I did get on YouTube, but I mean, I sat there for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, doing nothing when we first got to the job site. So I was like, I'm getting on YouTube. And I watched actual videos. I tried to stay off of the reels. But there's not really much you can do to get rid of reels. There's like, do not autoplay videos, do not play in background, shit like that. And that was kind of bothering me, because I had it set up to where videos would play in background. I put in my headphones. I'm working, I'm watching the video, but then I need to stand up and do something or get my notes out or whatever, and the video will still play in my ear, and so I'm not visualizing the video, but I'm hearing whatever they're doing in it, and I can do my stuff, and then I just sit down, open up my phone again, and then it goes right back to the video. And I don't know. I think YouTube is going to be my main deal from now on for a while. And I was thinking about that. I could post up pictures and videos on YouTube, but I mean, that's what it's for. I mean, not really pictures, but you can. And so I think that's where I'm going to just try to stay off of Facebook as much as I can. Unless they're, because I follow a couple of forums for my dirt bike. So if I'm ever doing anything to my dirt bike, I mean, I look at the forums and I also do my own Google search. Maybe I'll just not do the forums or the group on Facebook, and just leave that out of it, even though it is kind of nice. There's always somebody there. You can ask a question and they'll pretty much answer you within a couple of minutes, which is kind of nice. But I mean, that's a totally separate thing. That's not what I'm trying to get away from. I'm trying to get away from the doom scrolling. And last night, I got home, I put my phone in my work bag, and I just left it there up until I went to bed. I needed to charge it up and have my alarms. But I left it there, and I played Fortnite with my son. He's been begging me for weeks to do that. I played one round with him. I got ninth, so we did all right. But I said I'm done after this. I said I don't want to play Fortnite no more. And I played a little bit of like toys with my daughter, and I petted the dogs. You know, I was like, I kept thinking about getting up and getting my phone, and I'm like, no, dude, what are you doing? I've got a real problem, and I think a lot of people have a problem. They just don't realize it yet. I'm definitely not the only one that has a problem with this, and I'm trying to solve it. You know, back probably 3 years ago, maybe even more. I was playing this game on my phone. It's called Off-Road Outlaws, and that's what most of the YouTube channel is. I was playing Off-Road Outlaws all the fucking time. This was even before those videos, before I even started the channel. I was playing Off-Road Outlaws. I was building maps. I was playing the game all the time. I was making well, actually, I wasn't making YouTube videos. I was just playing the game all the fucking time. And getting on Facebook and messaging people and shit. And that's back when I still had my real name on my Facebook and everything. And then I got hacked 2 times in a row. And I deleted my Gmail. Like, that's a big deal. Like, my Gmail was connected to everything. And you don't realize how connected you are until that happens. I deleted my Gmail, my Facebook, my YouTube, every fucking thing. And I factory reset my phone. I lost probably thousands worth of photos that were just either on my phone or in Facebook from 2009. I lost every fucking thing. And it was my doing. I knew what I was doing, but I felt so violated by somebody hacking into my shit twice. I said, fuck all this, because I deleted everything and I created a new or I didn't delete everything, but I deleted the Facebook, created a new Facebook profile with my name, started adding friends back, and then I got hacked again. And I said, nope, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. Somebody's got me specifically on their radar. I need to not be me. And I think it was somebody from the fucking game that was jealous and knew how to hack shit. Because the game was saved through Facebook. So they got into my game, they got into my Facebook, got into my game, and started fucking with shit. And I deleted the game, I deleted every map that I made, and I had some banger fucking maps. Not gonna lie. There's only one map that is left. Well, 2 maps. One map is one that I built, is like one of my first really nice RP maps. It was a big city. It's called Silvertown, by the way. And I deleted my Silvertown, but I was talking with the developers and stuff, and they had taken a copy of my map and posted it up so nobody could hack it. So there is still a Silvertown up. It's one that I don't have access to, and it's still there, and people still play it. That's fine. But I deleted my version and all the other maps that I had made, and I left one map, and it was just a message. Is what it was. It was, "F you hackers, you guys ruined the game. F you." I was a fucking nerd. But that's the only map I left on there. So now anybody that wanted to try to hack that, and nobody can hack it now because the Facebook profile is gone. So that map is stuck on, unless the developers get on it and decide to delete it or whatever, but it's still there, I believe. And people were also, the author name was my real name, because it was what my Facebook, name was. People could customize their author name, and they would put their author name as my name, and they would create a bunch of maps. It still happened, and there's nothing you can do about it. But, so you get on there, and there was like one-man Wolfpack maps. That's recent. That's what's going on now. It's one-man Wolfpack maps. You type in, search by author, and you search for one-man Wolfpack, I used to be the only one-man wolf pack on there, and I had like 13 maps. There's hundreds of maps, and people are like, man, this guy really doesn't know how to make maps anymore. I'm like, those aren't mine. Do you not realize anybody can name themselves one-man wolf pack, make a really shitty map, just so people will get on and think that I created a new map? Like, no, like those are all fake. They're all fake. So in the description of all mine, I put in, subscribe to my YouTube channel and stuff, and I talked about it in there a couple of times. So hopefully, if it, the maps that aren't mine, they have an actual description of what their map is or whatever. No, the only real maps of mine say subscribe to my YouTube and Facebook. So I guess that's one way you can tell, because I guess a hacker isn't going to say, hey, subscribe to this guy's YouTube and Facebook, even though it's not me, or whatever. I don't know. But anyways, the point of all this is I deleted everything. I got hacked twice. I deleted everything, and I took like 2 months off of everything phone related. My phone was literally just to call people and text people. I didn't have anything on there, or maybe Google and take pictures, but it was a really good time in my life. I look fondly back on that day when I had nothing, and I had so much more free time. I was more energetic. I was a maniac around the house cleaning up and stuff because there was nothing else to do. I just cleaned up all the time, and I never sat down to get on YouTube or Facebook or anything. I was also, I was addicted really bad then, and it was kind of nice. Just kind of quit cold turkey, kind of like that. Not by choice, but and then I started playing the game again, incognito, and I started making maps just because I really liked to play the game. I liked to create maps. And I was like, all right, now that nobody is following me at all, I'm just going to start creating a bunch of maps and stuff. And I started creating them, and then it got me again. And I went fucking hardcore, and I created a YouTube channel, started making YouTube videos, getting on Facebook, posting all that shit up, and my shit blew up. Nobody knew that I was still the same guy that created maps before. Some people noticed a similarity, but most people thought I was just a totally different map creator, and it's like, no, I'm the same fucking guy. And even the developers and other people were like, whoa, you're the same guy? I'm like, yeah, I'm back. I'm back, guys. But I don't want to be a part of your fucking group. I'm just want to create maps and share them. That's all I want to do. And that's what I did, but then it created a Discord and all that shit. It got real busy, and then I don't know. It was after my son was born, and definitely after my daughter. I just quit. I don't even have the game anymore. I don't do any of that, and I don't enjoy the game anymore either. I've tried to get on it again, but the developers really put their focus in a lot of other stuff other than map creator. And I thought by now, by 2025, they would have updated, some of the stuff for map creators. They haven't done shit for map creators. They bought a shitty asset pack with a bunch of stupid ass assets that I don't like. They're the wrong size. They're horrible, graphics, or use just data, or I don't know what the fuck they're made out of. Whatever, they suck. They look like shit. And that's all they've done, really, other than change the way you can create maps, and now it's even difficult to create maps for me, at least. So I'm like, fuck the game. I'm done. And anyways, so I'm not trying to go back to deleting everything. What the fuck is this guy doing? You having trouble? Jesus Christ. I don't think it's that windy. This guy's just driving. He's got 3 lanes. He's like fucking Richard Petty in NASCAR. He's just 3 lanes wide the whole time. Like, this fucking guy's in a box truck. He's a fucking dumbass. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So, yeah, I guess I'm done with that conversation. I woke up at 3 a.m. had to pee, and I was like, oh, let me check out the weather, just because today was going to be kind of an iffy day on weather anyways. And I looked it up, but I was like, oh, it's going to rain, like, all morning. I was like, damn, because I was trying to see if I could ride the bike, because in the afternoon it's going to be nice. And I was like, man, maybe I can ride through the rain a little bit in the morning. I was like, I really don't want to do that, but maybe I can. But then I decided against it, and I went to sleep. But then I woke right back up at like 3:30 in the morning to hail, wind, and rain just slamming the side of my house. I was like, damn, it's fucking wild as fuck out there right now. I was like, well, guess I'll be driving the truck again, whatever. Then I woke up for time to work, and I looked, and I had a 30-minute break of rain. So I was like, shit, all right. And I jumped out of bed, got ready, and hopped on the bike, and I took off. And I did. The rain was like kind of swooping underneath me, coming up north to where I was headed. And I rode in front of the fucking rain the whole ride. It's like it kind of scooped me up and pushed me north. It was fucking kind of sick. Because I was watching the clouds, and I was like, damn, these clouds look fucking menacing. And they're just swooping all around me, and I just, all the way to work. And I made it to work. And as soon as I made it to work, it started to rain. It wasn't raining, it was just sprinkling, but I made it completely dry all the way. The only thing was, I was like, I hope that flood water isn't there still, because my dirt bike is definitely lower than what that flood water was. I mean, and I'm also not like, I wouldn't ride through it if it was that deep, but I would also I would ride through, a foot of water and try to ride around it or whatever. And I think I could ride through some people's yards and shit if I needed to, just to get to work. But luckily, all that water had receded, and it was nice. There's a couple of spots on the highway where water was in one lane, and I just slowed down and got over so I didn't get splashed by these fucking cars flying by. And I parked my bike in the shop so it will stay dry, because I think it's going to rain a little bit throughout the day, but in the afternoon it's looking like it's going to be nice. And yeah, it's pretty fucking cool. So today, my goal today, we only have 9 engines to do. That's not going to be a full day's worth. So I'm going to try to go as quickly as I possibly can and get the fuck out of here to get home in time to make it to my son's karate ceremony. So I have a goal in sight, and I think I can do it. I don't think, because it doesn't start until like 6 o'clock or something like that. But usually I'm not even getting home until 7 doing this job. But that's when we're doing 10 or more engines, and half of these are half full. So I think if I bust my fucking ass sucking this shit out and dumping it, I might even leave a little earlier than the other guys, just so I can get there in time. This fucking Sprinter van is really riding in my lane. Hope the wind from the nose of my truck will push you out of the fucking way. Oh, there you go. He about hit the fucking ass into my trailer. He swerved, like he swerved over into it. Motherfucker. And now he's speeding up to get next to me. Nope, not today, bud. I'm over here fucking flying through this traffic. I wouldn't pass you on the right if you weren't in the left, you dumb fuck. Anyways, what else is going on? That's about it, really. Just having a good time. Gonna try to actually listen to some podcasts today. It's not gonna work. I'm gonna try. I don't know. Whenever I sit down, it's just like I don't want to sit and listen. I want to watch something or look at shit, and it's part of my addiction to media. But maybe I'll try to just force myself just to listen to podcasts today. Anyways, keep all 18 down. Adios. Talk to you later. Oh man, I moved the shit around. I can't fucking find out how to pause this. Adios.